I thought about that this week. And I thought about everything that the author of Hebrews does in this very last chapter. And it brought me back to that reality, that main idea in this passage, this main idea that through Jesus, God has equipped us to do His will. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like what God's calling me to do or what God's asking me to do, and we're not talking about extraordinary things. We're just talking about listening and obeying. Like, God, I don't know if I can do that. But what the author of Hebrews reminds us is that God has equipped us to do everything for His will. And I want to remind you as we close this book and we close the entire study of Hebrews with this question: how will you do God's will? Now, for every single one of us, this is so nuanced and it looks different for everybody. But I think thinking about how we do God's will. And I thought at the close of this book, there's 3 simple things. We love God, we love people, and we persevere in the faith. Everything God has called us to do, everything that He desires of you, He's equipped you to do. When we read about those Christians that lived 1,800 years ago, and it's like, man, I don't know if I could ever do that. They weren't exceptional. That's part of the whole point of that letter. It's like, they're average, normal, everyday people. Yet, they followed God. They obeyed God. They recognized that the Holy Spirit was dwelling in them, and because of the empowerment of the Holy Spirit, they could persevere in faith even when they were being persecuted. They could love God even when it looked like from the outside God had let them down. They could love everyone despite the fact that everyone hated them. Now, I don't know about your circumstances, but I have a feeling that most of us have better circumstances than that. And as I think about our faith and I think about the entire book of Hebrews, it's really that simple. We've been called to love God, to love people, and to persevere in the faith.